Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been following the Packers this season, you know that everything seemed to be heading in the right direction. After a roller coaster offseason, the team looked poised to make a deep playoff run, and many fans were optimistic, even confident, that this year could finally be the one where Green Bay reclaims its spot at the top of the NFC. But then Week 3 happened. The Packers, who had been almost unstoppable in the first 2 weeks, suddenly hit a wall. They suffered a shocking upset loss to the Cleveland Browns, and let's just say, it was a game that left a lot of fans scratching their heads and wondering what went wrong. What made this loss even more frustrating was the way it played out. Green Bay's offensive line, which had been a real point of pride this season, struggled significantly. Both Zach Tom and Aaron Banks had to leave the game early due to injuries, and that disrupted the rhythm of the offense in a way that was visible to everyone watching. When your offensive line falters, especially against a tough team like Cleveland, it's almost impossible to maintain consistency on offense. For a team that relies heavily on a balanced attack, this was a huge blow. And speaking of Banks, that's where things get even more interesting. The Packers, recognizing the seriousness of the situation, decided to act quickly. They signed Brant Banks from their practice squad to the active roster. This move was big, especially considering Banks was an undrafted free agent in 2025. He didn't hear his name called during the draft, but he quickly caught the attention of the Packers with his work ethic and physical tools. You see, Banks is a towering figure at 6'7", and that kind of size is rare at the tackle position. Even though he didn't make the 53-man roster out of training camp, he did find a spot on the practice squad and made his NFL debut in Week 2 against the Washington Commanders when he was elevated for that game. Now, the Packers are in a tricky spot. With Tom and Banks both battling injuries, the team had to make a move. So they brought Banks up to the active roster to give themselves more depth at tackle. This decision wasn't random, it was strategic. Anthony Belton stepped in to fill in for Tom at right tackle after his injury, but let's be honest, he didn't exactly shine in that game. The offensive line was under pressure, and it showed. Darian Kinnard and John Williams are also options at tackle for Green Bay, but Williams has been dealing with his own injury issues, which limited his availability. That's why signing Banks made so much sense. The team needed someone with his size and potential to help stabilize the line. You know, throughout the first 2 weeks of the season, the Packers looked like one of the best teams out there. They were playing with confidence, and many players were even talking about going undefeated. That kind of swagger can be a double-edged sword, especially in the NFL where parity reigns supreme. The Browns, a team with a solid defense and a physical style of play, reminded Green Bay that nothing is guaranteed. Sometimes, a team needs a wake-up call, and this game served as that for the Packers. It's a reminder that no matter how well you start, the league is unforgiving, and every week presents new challenges. But here's the silver lining. It's still early in the season. There's plenty of football left to be played, and the Packers have time to correct course. The key now is how they respond. Coach Matt LaFleur and his staff will undoubtedly analyze what went wrong and make the necessary adjustments. The upcoming game against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football is crucial. It's a high-profile matchup that could serve as a turning point for this team, a chance to show resilience and get back on track after that disappointing loss to Cleveland. The Cowboys are a tough opponent, known for their strong defense and dynamic offense led by players like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. But for Green Bay, it's about more than just individual matchups. It's about the collective effort, protecting Jordan Love, who has shown flashes of brilliance but also moments of inconsistency, and establishing a more effective running game to take some pressure off the passing attack. If the offensive line can hold up, especially with Banks now in the mix, the Packers could regain their offensive rhythm and silence some of the critics. Beyond the game plan, the mental aspect is just as important. The team has to stay focused, avoid panic, and learn from the mistakes made in Week 3. The injuries at tackle are a concern, no doubt, but they also offer an opportunity for players like Banks to step up and prove their worth at the highest level. It's a chance for the Packers to demonstrate resilience, to show that they can adapt under pressure and still compete at the top of the NFC. And that's what great teams do. They bounce back from setbacks, learn from them, and come out stronger. Looking at the bigger picture, this season is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent Packers history. The team has a solid core, with Jordan Love continuing to develop as a leader at quarterback. The defense, while not perfect, has shown flashes of being disruptive, and the coaching staff under LaFleur has a track record of making smart adjustments. But the key will always be staying healthy and maintaining that competitive edge week after week. The injury to Banks and Tom is a reminder that the NFL is a brutal league, and depth is everything. That's why the Packers front office and coaching staff will need to keep working on their roster, scouting potential reinforcements, and making sure they're prepared for whatever comes next. And of course, fans are just as vital to this journey. The energy, the passion, the unwavering support, it all matters. Green Bay fans are some of the most dedicated in the league, and their voices can lift the team in tough times. So, even after a tough loss, remember that the season is long, and there are still many opportunities ahead. The Packers have faced adversity before and come out on top, and there's no reason to think this year will be any different if they keep fighting. As we look ahead to Week 4, it's about rallying around the team, believing in the game plan, and hoping that the offensive line can gel quickly with Banks now in the mix. The game against the Cowboys is more than just another regular season matchup. It's a statement game. It's about showing that the Packers are still a force to be reckoned with, that they can overcome setbacks, and that their championship aspirations are still very much alive. The NFC North is competitive, and every win counts, but what really matters is how this team responds to adversity. That's what separates good teams from great ones. So, to all the Green Bay Packers fans out there, keep your heads up. Stay loud, stay proud, and keep supporting your team through thick and thin. This season isn't over yet, and if anything, it's setting the stage for a story of resilience, growth, and eventual redemption. The journey continues, and the Packers are still very much in the fight. We'll be watching closely, bringing you all the updates, analysis, and insights you love. Remember, it's not just about the game, it's about the passion, the loyalty, and the unbreakable spirit of Packers Nation. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.